ይመስላል? Okay, we're ready. We can start. Since the road is a bit loud, we'll try to make it as loud as we can.
Very good. We'll talk a little bit louder. Good.
So thank you so much for coming and for agreeing to be part of this interview. I will be asking just 3 questions. So I just want to start by asking what you do, and then you will.
I'm Gerda Berger. I'm the coordinator of the Scaling Up Nutrition Movement, which is...
ይቅርታ ይኸውላችሁ አንዴ ባለሽ ኢንተርቪው እያደረግን ስለሆነ ድምጻችሁን ከፍ really sorry, we might have to start again. It's like movies.
I am Gerda Berger. I'm the coordinator of the Scaling Up Nutrition Movement, which is a movement that started in 2010, realizing that nutrition is very important for health, for education, for productivity, for having a healthy and happy life, prosperity for a country. But that it's not only a matter of health. And too many people still think that it's a matter of health, but it's also a matter of good food. It is about hygiene, it's about education, behavior. And the founding fathers and mothers realized this, so they said, okay, let's start a Scaling Up Nutrition movement, whereby the government of the countries need to draft a letter that they want to become a member of the Scaling Up Nutrition because they want to do something about malnutrition. Starting with stunting, during the first 1,000 days, but also wasting. And since a few years we are looking at all forms of malnutrition, which also includes obesity and NCDs that are related to food, not the right food. So that is where it started. It's a multi-sectoral, different department and a multi-stakeholder approach, because to get nutrition right, you need civil society to work with communities in order to implement it. You need the business, because most of the business sector are producing the food. You need the United Nations to work as one, and you want the donors and investors to also align behind the government. Right now, after 8 years, we have 60 member countries, plus 3 Indian states, and from Africa, 40 countries are a member. And I am the coordinator, so I try to support countries and encourage countries to step up, also by visiting them. Because one thing is for sure, we do not go to countries to do it for people. People have to do it themselves. And if they get nutrition right, they get development right, because nutrition is not only a result of nutrition, it's also something that can boost the development and the socio-economic development of everyone.
So far, since 2010, you have reached almost 60 countries, which is a very big number. And can you say that the Sun movement has actually brought a significant change in the landscape of nutrition?
Yeah. First of all, because countries that are a member of the Scaling Up Nutrition movement realize that it's not only a matter of health. Too often it's still in the Department of Health, and it should be broader. And we want the Prime Minister or the Vice Prime Minister, or in some countries it's the President, to take the lead. Because if you want to make your country prosperous, you should start with nutrition. So it was and still is a big game changer. On the other hand, we have to realize that some of the countries are really suffering from climate shocks, from conflicts. So overall, hunger and malnutrition is on the rise. But in 10 of the African countries, we see that malnutrition, especially stunting, is decreasing, and Ethiopia, your beautiful country, is one of them.
So, you just told us that there has been a significant improvement in this country, but there are also reports showing that NCD and overnutrition is also becoming a problem. So Hassan has a specific attention on that, or it's just only on that nutrition?
No, we always start with the first 1,000 days. So our focus is on the first 1,000 days of a baby from the start of pregnancy of the mother. And we realized until the second birthday, and we realized that breastfeeding is so of crucial importance. So that's what we stimulate. But if you look at studies, and researchers and scientists know it exactly, the root causes of overnutrition, obesity, and overweight and NCDs, and the root causes of undernutrition, stunting, are about the same. So if you invest in girls, adolescents, so that their nutrition is right and they don't have nutrition deficiencies, but that they are healthy and happy when they become pregnant, then you can solve a lot. In combination with breastfeeding, and let me emphasize this, Africa is doing pretty well in breastfeeding. I'm coming from Europe. In Europe, you really need to boost breastfeeding because it's the best start in life you can give to a child.
So let me come back to you and your lifestyle. Can you tell us how you spend your typical day?
I'm traveling a lot, which might be nice, but it's also exhausting. But when I'm in Geneva, our secretariat is in Geneva, then I used to go on the bicycle to the office, which is 13 kilometers. And as you know,
back and forth, or
it's one. So in total, it's 26 kilometers. And Switzerland is, of course, a little bit hilly, and there are some mountains, so it's a very good training. And I'm also a runner, so I try to invest in a little bit of fitness, and I try to eat also healthy, because if you are driving such an important movement, you also have to walk your talk. And the good thing is that I really like healthy food.
What do you mean by healthy food? For you, what is healthy food?
For me, it is fruit. It's a lot of vegetables. It's not too much salt and sugar. And it's not too much in total. So don't eat too much because, well, it doesn't feel, it looks nice, but it doesn't feel nice in your stomach, and you start to become, you feel a little bit lazy. So it is a little bit thinking about what is good for me, what do I need to be on the bicycle, what do I need to do a run or swimming or whatever, and then pick your food.
So you pick your food based on what you're going to do for the day?
Well, not always, because of course you have your routine, and the good food should be available. Let me also make this point, because healthy food, fruits, vegetables, fish, for instance, in bigger cities is not always available, and many times it is more expensive. If I go to a city like in New York, it is cheaper to buy a hamburger rather than to find some healthy oranges or something, or grapefruits. Yeah.
So you say you also follow your routines when you travel?
Yeah,
so
I
you
try.
mean that do you go to the gym, or do you
Yes,
walk? Or?
first thing in the morning, I prefer to have a hotel with a gym, and then first thing in the morning is 40 minutes or 50 minutes running on a bicycle, a little bit rowing, and if it's all available. But here it was all available, so. And that's a good start. And then having a good breakfast. Many people do not take breakfast, at least in Western countries, and they think, well, then I can eat a little bit more during lunch. But a good breakfast is a very, very healthy and energizing start of the day.
So you're actually living your education.
Yeah, of course. I like also barbecue, and from time to time I do not always eat healthy. But in general, if you are aware how important it is and what food can do for your body and your brains, because very often that's also overlooked. Good food is not only feeding your body, but also your brains, your cognitive potential. And if you realize this, well, you are happy to invest in it.
So I'm coming to my last question. You've been here for the last 3 days, and you had a very good presentation in the morning Monday. So an ANEC workshop, how do you see the ANEC workshop, and what contribution do you think it will bring to the world of nutrition?
I think it's very good to be here. And I would encourage the organizers to continue, and I heard they will do, because they were already talking about 2019 and 2020. But looking around and listening around, I see a lot of people coming to this conference who'd like to learn and would like to ask questions to panelists. So my suggestion is that the organization invites many speakers, because there are many speakers for 5 days, but organize a little bit more questions and answers, a little bit more panels, because people want to learn from each other's experience. And there is a wealth of experience around, people from all kinds of African and American and European and Asian countries. So let them share and let them tell, not only giving a lecture or a speech, but interaction. How do you do it? Who do you eat? How do you organize it? Because in the end, it is not about telling how important nutrition is. It is making sure that people in communities, in the villages, in families, start to behave and do have access to available good and diverse food, so that the next generation in a country can be even more prosperous. And I think Ethiopia is ambitious. It's one of the first countries that became a member of the Scaling Up Nutrition movement. And during these days I have heard excellent intentions and ambitions to move on and to implement all the good ideas with the people in the villages out there, communities, families. And if it will happen and we will follow closely, then I think Ethiopia will be a great role model for all other 59 countries, and at a time maybe even more members of the Sun movement.
Great, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time and for this very interesting interview.
My pleasure.
Great, thank you. We're done. By the way, I'm also the steering committee member of the European Society Scholarship.
Right. Yeah.
Good.
Very good.
So I'm already in Sun.
Sorry. So you're very around.
I'm already in Sun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm one of the steering committee members.
Oh, okay.
Very good.
The ECS, European Civil Society
You know,
Scholarship.
your experience is very good, because we have a lot of requests from countries like trying to form this community